Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from Phone Bunch and today we are reviewing the Asus Zenfone 5 available for about Rs 10,000 in the market with 2 gigs of RAM of 1.6 GHz dual core Intel Atom processor with hyper-threading enabled, a 5-inch HD IPS display is there as well. Let's have a look at the build first. On the left there is absolutely nothing except a space to open the back cover. At the top, secondary microphone for noise cancellation, 3.5mm audio jack. On the right, power lock and unlock button as well as the volume rocker with a brushed metallic finish. Both are sturdy, offer good feedback. At the bottom, primary microphone as well as the micro USB, data syncing and charging port. The back does have a round shape which does fit in your palm perfectly. 8 megapixel pixel master camera, LED flash, and you can see the speaker grill at the bottom which is a bit flush with the surface. Sound does get a bit muffled. I can see that this phone can be easily handled in one hand. However, due to the large bezels around the display, especially at the top and bottom, this is a rather tall device with a 5-inch display. The Moto G is significantly smaller, but still the rounded back as well as the flat size do make the phone easier to hold. Now let's open up the back cover and we'll see what else we have inside. The back cover is relatively easy to open. It has a matte finish which again makes the phone feel sturdier, especially when you are holding it in one hand. You can see that there is a little bit of flex to the back cover, but when it's on the phone, it's absolutely solid. Coming to the insides, you have two micro SIM card slots and the micro SD card slot right up top, which takes up to 64 gigs of storage. A non-removable 2110 mAh battery is also there. Now let's put the back cover on. The Zenfone 5 scored 19247 on Antutu, 8186 on Quadrant, which are really good scores and comparable to the current Gen Moto G, and you can see it's actually a very sturdy device as well. Now coming to the front, you have a 2 megapixel camera, notification LED, proximity and light sensors right up top with the main earpiece, a 5-inch HD IPS display with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection, 10-point multi-touch, a smudge resistant coating and good viewing angles. The capacitive buttons just below the display actually don't light up, and that's a strange decision made by Asus in this respect. Now you can also see, as I've been saying, the bezels are actually quite large both above the display and below it. Now coming back to the display, it has great color reproduction. It's bright, the colors look vivid. Yes, the brightness could have been a little higher. I would have really liked that. Now I will change some wallpapers. You'll be able to see it yourself. Now the colors do look very nice on this display. It's viewable in direct sunlight as well. But yes, it's quite reflective and does attract fingerprints, but you can easily wipe them off due to the anti-fingerprint coating. So you also have a glove mode using which you will be able to use the phone in winters with gloves on. And moreover, even in the general mode, the touch response is really fast and very fluid on this display. Being an IPS panel, the viewing angles are also wide and there is no distortion, brightness and colors. Now this is the default data. We didn't have any major issues with network or call quality. Both the speakerphone and the earpiece are loud. Noise cancellation also works well and the other person on the line is able to hear us without any echo. Now you do have audio recorder inbuilt as well. So that's something if you want to use. You don't have to install any third-party apps and you will be able to see all your recorded files at one place. Connectivity options are not limited to, you have Wi-Fi hotspot, Bluetooth as well as USB tethering. Now this is a dual SIM device and you can use 3G on either of the SIM cards. GPS is also available and it's able to locate very quickly. You have a 8 megapixel primary and a 2 megapixel front facing camera available. You have touch to focus available here too. Then there are several filters you can use directly onto the image itself. So it will be shown in real time what effect you are applying. You also have a very clever pencil mode which really does look nice. Now coming to settings, you do have digital image stabilization which works both in case of images as well as videos. You can play with the white balance, ISO, exposure levels. Optimization, that is how much smoothing goes on in the background after the image has been taken. Touch to focus as well as auto exposure compensation also takes place here. Camera sounds, whether they should be shown or not. You can configure a lot on this camera app. It's very intuitive, very easy to use as well. Then you have several modes including panorama, HDR, a night mode which does work quite well and it reduces noise in low light imaging. Now here are some samples taken in broad daylight. The camera can capture 1080p videos which are crisp and the sound is clear as well. This is a very good example of the color reproduction in images taken by the camera. Colors are bright, sprightly, vivid, sometimes even bordering on being overexposed. On the left you have the normal image taken in auto mode, on the right with the HDR mode, and you can see it's not overexposed, which is the general case. And here you can see a lot of detail is captured and very little noise is present. Overall, the camera on the Zenfone 5 is a very good one, but the Moto G still wins in the color reproduction department. Here too you can see a lot of detail has been captured with very little noise. Low light imaging is also good, but macro shots do turn out to be a little blurry as the focusing does take a little bit of time. This is the default headset that comes within the box, and actually these are really nice to listen to music to. You have different earbuds available too, so you can fit these according to your ear size. A single button interface to receive calls. Now coming to the default music player, you can see right here, it's very basic but it does get the work done. So you can make your own playlist. You can check out what is actually playing currently with the now playing option. Just at the bottom you have an album view. Now coming to settings, you have an equalizer built in as well. So you see right there, that's a default equalizer, and I've set it to rock, which actually does work. And then you have Sonic Master, which is Asus's proprietary audio technology. That's also built in, so you can choose a particular mode or let it work with the smart mode on. All work fine. Now this is the default FM radio interface. You don't have FM recording, but you do have stereo FM available, and you can listen to it over either your earphones or the speakerphone. Now we are playing a 1080p video which plays flawlessly on the Zenfone 5. There are no issues with video playback. It's absolutely smooth over YouTube or whether you are playing a local video. Now let's come to software. So this is Zen UI, Asus's new take on Android interfaces. So default launcher here, you don't have the widgets missing here. You can simply drag and drop widget to any of the home screens. You can even add more home screens if you want to, or delete them. It's a very basic, very simple take on Android. Now there are several apps that came pre-installed. Most of them were Asus's own apps, which are very good in terms of the interface as well as user experience. You can see you have tabs for downloaded as well as frequent apps. You can lock apps, hide apps, or directly uninstall or disable apps too. You do have a sort by option, but you can only sort in alphabetical order. So that's just about it. But yes, these are very handy options available within the launcher itself. Now this is the default notification shade, and you can see all the toggles that are available. Moreover, you can also customize which toggles you actually want to see here. Coming to about, you'll be able to see that this phone is running Android 4.3 Jelly Bean at the moment, but an upgrade to Android 4.4 KitKat is already in the works. Now this is an easy mode which can be used by elderly people or people who are visually impaired. This will definitely help them. The 2110 mAh battery gives excellent standby time and a usage time of about 1 day with medium use. The new KitKat update will probably increase that as well. You have a 8GB ROM available on the device, out of which at present, after we have installed so many apps, 5GB is free. Now app and app data are also movable to the external storage. Moreover, USB OTG is also supported. So you can see right there, the USB OTG drive has been detected. But for moving apps to the external storage, you do have to keep one thing in mind, that the apps need to install on the internal storage first. So you need to have that free. And you can see right there, USB disk has been mounted and has been detected as well. Now if we come into storage, you'll be able to see the unmount option is also available. Now you also have a smart battery saving mode which increases battery life, and you can also customize the brightness level of the display based on what you're actually doing. It's a smart saving mode which actually does work. Then you can also customize what the recent apps key does when you long tap on it. These are custom settings that you can choose. Now app installation, as I was saying, apps can be directly installed onto the external SD card, but that happens only when you have compatible apps. Now coming to security, you can encrypt your device. You can choose Android Device Manager as your device administrator to locate your phone in case it gets lost. You have a different lock screen option where you have face unlock, pattern, pin and password available too. Then you have several Asus apps starting with Splendid, using which you can completely customize the color reproduction of the display. You can have it in vivid mode where the colors are absolutely spot on. And then you have a Supernote app where you can simply go ahead and scribble your notes and they will be saved in your own handwriting. A very handy feature, especially if you are in a hurry. But that's not all. You can also use the keyboard here. So best of both worlds. Now this is the default Asus keyboard. It comes with gesture functionality. You can see it right there. It's very fast to type on, very intuitive to work with as well. Now we have loaded phonebunch.com and you can see scrolling is absolutely smooth here. No jerkiness, and we have seen the performance of the phone is truly brilliant even with that dual core processor. Now we have loaded our full desktop website. You can see how smooth pinch to zoom is. The touch response is truly brilliant on this display. And you can see how crisp the text looks as well. Now say you want to read an article later, so I'll show you another feature that is available here. So I'll just say read later and it will be snapped as a snapshot in the do it later app. And you can see it right here. These are the tasks that I need to complete. Overall also the performance of the phone is brilliant. I haven't noticed any lag in the interface. Gaming is also quite good on this phone. It's only some of the very high-end games that we saw a little bit of hiccup. But other than that, with 2 gigs of RAM, a 1.6 GHz dual-core Intel Atom processor with hyper-threading enabled actually works wonders for this device. With a brilliant 5-inch display, great performance, a very good camera at the back and front-facing camera as well, the Asus Zenfone 5 is a truly revolutionary device at this 10,000 rupees price point. It's a great competitor, especially given that build quality of the device to the current gen Moto G. The Moto G might be a bit easier to use when it comes to the default interface as well as overall ergonomics, but the Zenfone 5 is not lagging behind. We'll be back with more. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. You can watch the gaming review of the Asus Zenfone 5 from right here, as well as a full review of the Moto G 2nd Gen. Thanks for watching. Any questions, requests, hit us in the comment section. And as always, have a great day.